Hi, I'm Christina and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. So it is Tuesday lunchtime now and I am currently reading The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. So I'm doing this one as a buddy read with Chloe over at Chloe Reads Books. So I'll link her channel down below so you can go and check her out. And we're going to read 50 pages a day. So I started it yesterday. So I have read up to my 49 page mark. And it's meant to be a mystery, a murder mystery, which I think is going to be really exciting. So it's set in Scotland. We have this group of friends from Oxford University, and every single kind of New Year period, they go away on holiday and spend some time together. And they're doing it at this hunting lodge this time. And it's the kind of place that gets incredibly isolated when the weather is bad. So you can't get cars in, trains in, there's basically no way to leave at all. And obviously the premise is somebody's dead. We don't know who it is. And obviously we're going to have to work out who it is that's been killed, how, why, think about all the different suspects. So we're hearing the story from lots of different perspectives. So far we've heard from 5 different perspectives just in the first 50 pages. And that is the 2 members of staff who work there, and they're called Doug and Heather. I've got my notes here because honestly, with a big murder mystery, when you're hearing from lots of different characters and lots of different perspectives, I actually have to write down who's who. Otherwise I'm like, who's that again? Does anybody else do that, or do you just have a better memory than me? Because I don't like flipping back to the pages and go, who was Katie again? So I like to have it written down who she is. So yeah, we have the 2 members of staff, Doug and Heather, and we think there's some kind of secrets in their past as to why they will be working here. So Heather is kind of like the manager of the place, and Doug is like the gameskeeper. He kind of takes the people out on the hunts and things like that. And then you have Emma, who is the newest member of the group. So she's one of the original girlfriends. So all of these people have known each other for probably over a decade, whereas Emma is the new girlfriend of someone called Mark. I think they've only been together about 3 years, so she still kind of feels like the odd one out. You know, when you're the last person to join a friendship group. So that's kind of her dynamic, and she's the one that has planned the holiday for everyone. She's kind of like get her stamp in and try and, be accepted into the friendship group. And then we also hear from Katie, and Katie is the only single member of the group, so everybody else is in a couple, so it's just her by herself. And I think that's quite obviously difficult for her. It gives it a different kind of dynamic, that she's the one that kind of has to sit by herself on the train and, things like that. You're the one that's going to have the smallest kind of room to stay in. And then we also hear from Miranda, and Miranda is meant to be the beautiful, popular girl, and she's kind of part of the big power couple, if you would say so. So on the back, it kind of talks about the different people. So it's like the beautiful one, the golden couple, the volatile one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, the outsider, and the victim. And what I do think is interesting, I think you can kind of slot people into their roles quite quickly, but perhaps some people are going to have more than one role in that, and that's going to try and trick us into it a little bit. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And then obviously you've got the victim at the end, and like you say, in the first 50 pages, you know that somebody's dead, but you don't know who it is. So I kind of like those closed mysteries where you have your number of suspects and you're just kind of trying to figure out who it is. So I think this is going to be really good, and I'm really looking forward to reading it with Chloe. So yeah. Hi, it is Monday lunchtime and I finished The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley yesterday. Now, I haven't vlogged reading this book because honestly, I didn't really have anything to say at all. It was an okay book. I think it was pretty average for me, pretty run-of-the-mill. I was reading it with Chloe and she pretty much felt the same. In fact, I think she's going to give it 2 stars. I'm going to give it 3 stars, a really low 3. Maybe it is a 2-star, to be fair. It was okay. The characters were relatively interesting, but it never particularly grabbed me. I thought it was quite a slow build-up. And I wasn't particularly attached to any of the characters at all. None of the characters were particularly likeable or kind of easy to relate to. The only character that I did find interesting was Miranda, but I only found it interesting as opposed to actually liking her. All of the other characters, I really wasn't all that fussed about at all. In terms of the plot and the mystery, I think a lot of things were made very obvious, like a lot of the red herrings and the people you're thinking, oh, it's going to be this person who's the killer. I felt it was very obvious and quite contrived, actually. So I wasn't massively into that. And some of the things that turned out trying to be like the shocking, turn of events, weren't all that shocking, actually. I hadn't predicted it, but there was a couple of things that I had an idea, like an inkling, that I thought this is probably where it's going to go, just because it seems like the most logical answer. And yeah, so I found it pretty disappointing. It's just kind of an average mystery. I don't think this is going to be something that's going to particularly stay with me at all. I'm probably going to have forgotten the plot and the people really quickly. So that was a bit of a disappointment, and yeah, I didn't really see much point vlogging it when we were reading 50 pages a day, and each day I was like, don't really have much to say at all. So that's that one. And I'm going to start reading now, new week, new book, Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I read The 13th Tale by her this year, and I thought it was absolutely wonderful. I'll link my book review down below in case you're interested in that. I gave it 5 stars. I just thought her writing was so beautiful, and I'm hoping this is going to be more of the same. And I really want a good book now, because like The Hunting Party was so, to me, just run of the mill, and because I'd heard so many great things about it, like it's quite hyped on BookTube, like Lucy Foley in general is quite hyped on BookTube. I know the new one she did, was it called The Guest House? Maybe, but from what I've heard of the plot of that one, it's kind of a similar idea. I think that one's about a wedding party and someone goes missing or dies, and you have to try and figure out who it is, and it's another closed mystery with a set number of suspects, and you're kind of working it through. And this one basically feels the same in the sense that it's like a New Year's Eve gathering, and they're in the Scottish wilderness, and there's a closed set of people who could be the killer. So honestly, I probably won't read another one of her books. I feel like if she's doing that, it feels very formulaic to me. But I might read her newest one at some stage, perhaps, because, sometimes writers do get better, don't they, over time? But I don't think it's massively for me, so I won't be rushing to pick up another one of her books. So yes, I'm going to be reading this one next, and I'm just hoping this is going to be really, really good. So I might start reading it now, actually, and yeah, see what I feel. I might actually go for a walk because it's quite a nice day, and it'd be nice to get outside and get some fresh air. So yes, that's what I'm going to read. Hi, so it is Tuesday lunchtime, and yesterday I read 60 pages of my book, and it's quite a slow start so far. It's just kind of setting the scene, I would say. I can't actually tell what kind of time period it's set in yet. But it is set on a river, and it's set at an inn, so it's kind of talking about the people that run the inn, and it's the kind of place where you go to have a drink and then you listen to stories. So it's an inn that has kind of like a storytelling element to it. And then one evening they're all just sitting there listening to a story, and the door bursts open and a really big man comes in with what they think is like a doll or a puppet that he's holding. Anyway, he kind of collapses onto the floor, and the people go and grab him to make sure he's okay, and he's really badly injured. And then they realise that actually it isn't a doll or a puppet, it's a little girl, and they think she's about 4 years old, and they think that she's dead, they think that she's drowned, sadly. And then they get this woman who's kind of a nurse to come over, and she kind of treats the man and does all the things to make sure he's going to get better. And then she goes to see the little girl, and she's quite clearly dead. She's definitely drowned. There's all the signs of drowning. And then suddenly she opens her eyes and she's alive. So it's kind of a miracle, they think. And that's all that I'm up to. And that isn't a spoiler, because it says on the back, all of that it's about a little girl who dies and then comes back to life. So I've only read a little bit. I'm not enjoying it as much as The 13th Tale yet, but to be fair, I've only read like 50-60 pages, so I can't really make a massive comparison yet. But I do think I preferred the story of The 13th Tale. I think I thought that was more interesting than this. But we will see. I've only read a little bit, so I'm going to read a little bit more now. But first I have some parcels to show you. So I have 2 parcels, and first up is something I bought myself. So if you watched last week's vlog, I was talking about I bought some new perfume and some new makeup, and this is part of that package. It just arrived later. So this is Bare Minerals' new mascara, and it's not just a mascara, it has this kind of serum inside that's meant to make your eyelashes like longer and stronger. I've noticed that my eyelashes have been a bit rubbish lately, so I thought this would be good. And it's so good because it's a little Christmas gift set. So for the same price as just buying the mascara, you get a little mini mascara as well. So I'm really pleased by that. So I'll try that one and see what I think of it. And then I also got a parcel from Chloe over at Chloe Reads Books, which was really, really sweet of her. And she messaged me to say, would I like this book, because she's seen it on my wish list, and she's getting rid of it otherwise. So that was really nice for her. That's The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. So I'll link her channel down below so you can go and check her out. She's really, really great, and she's nearly at 1,000 subscribers too. So go and follow her if you aren't already. So we actually read The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware together as a buddy read, and we both really enjoyed it. So I'll see what I think of this one. So this is going to be, it's going to be my second Ruth Ware book. The only one I've read is The Turn of the Key. But I am quite interested in reading some of her other books. She's got quite a few, hasn't she? And I really like that one. I know some people say that the earlier ones aren't as good, I don't think. Like In a Dark, Dark Wood, I don't think people really like that one very much. So I'll see what I think of this. That was really kind of Chloe. So thank you for that. It was really sweet. And will I get to this before the end of the year? Yeah, I might read this in December actually. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's everything that I've got. And gonna go back to reading Once Upon a River. I kind of hope it picks up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's very slow paced at the moment, and I'd like it to pick up just a smidge, just a little smidge. So yeah. So it is Sunday lunchtime now, and I've actually not read any more of this book at all. So I'm up to page 112, and I'm just finding it really kind of slow and a bit kind of boring, I think. I don't know if I'm just not in the mood for this kind of book. So I might kind of just put it down for now and start reading something else, maybe another thriller. So I'm going to wrap up the vlog here. Sorry, this one's been pretty boring. Not a lot's actually happened. So yes, I'm going to put this down for a while. If you have read this book, and, does it get better? Did you kind of think that it's a little bit slow to start and then you get more into it? Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in next week's vlog. Bye.